Hi, it's Shannon Heaton, and welcome to the Tune of the Month video and podcast series. For this episode, I'm going to talk about how working on hornpipes with a metronome can be great for your overall rhythmic development. But before that, I'll give you a hornpipe to work with. The Plains of Boyle in D is a great old hornpipe. If you already know it, maybe I'll give you a few ideas on where to breathe for flute players. Breathing is essential, of course, and breathing is also essential for strong rhythmic development, because if you don't know where to breathe, you may interrupt the rhythm of your tune. If you're learning this tune for the first time, do listen to it a bunch, then try to sing it along with the recording, and then and only then go to learn it on your instrument. You will find yourself learning tunes much more rapidly if you take a bit more care just hearing them before you tackle it on an instrument. So here's the Plains of Boyle, and then we'll get into some metronome work. Okay, so a hornpipe maybe naturally sits for a player around, I don't know, let's say 72 on a metronome. If you don't already have a metronome, find something in your parents' attic or download an app on your mobile device. I think the app that I use on my phone is called Pro Metronome. It's fine. It doesn't matter what you use as long as it has a steady beat and you can abide and hear the tick-tock. So if I set my metronome to 72 here, let's see how this is to play along the Plains of Boyle. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Okay, feels like a pretty good tempo. Did you notice that I started right on the downbeat? 1, 2, 1, 2. A da 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 da. Now if I wanted to play pickup notes, I'd have to do them before the downbeat. 1, 2, 1, 2. Da 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 da. Okay, so a good thing to practice with and without pickup notes. Now what happens when I slow things down? Let's go to 63 here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Work to stay with that metronome. Every once in a while I may have rushed forward if I hadn't been trying to play right with this beat here, if it hadn't been marking out time for me. Challenged my breathing pattern just a little bit, but that's exactly why I set up that breathing pattern, so that we could try this at slower paces too. Da 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 da. Breathe here. Da 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 da. Breathe here. Da 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 da. Breathe again. Da 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 da. So that third breath happens shortly after the second breath. And that's because that first phrase was so long. I wanted to find a way to get back to a full tank of air. So that's a good strategy when you find yourself encountering long phrases. Go for it, but make sure that you have a couple of places after that to recover. What happens when we put the metronome now down to 58? The unnatural tempo of 58, because 60 is a second that really is hardwired for us. But here's 58. 1, 2, well, that's slow. 1, 2, 3. I took an extra breath in there, but I did my best to stay with the metronome, and it was tough going. I naturally just wanted to rush forward. So I might keep slowing it down and see if I can really stay there. It worked best when I relaxed into the pace. I found when I started, I was working so hard to stay with that slower pace. And then when I just relaxed a little bit, physically relaxed my body and my breathing, it was a little easier. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. I hope you'll join me in slow hornpipe practice and then inch it back up and then see how my reels and my jigs feel. Might be interesting. Have a great hornpipe month. See you next time at the Tune of the Month, and thanks so much for joining me.